Alright, we got a new backdrop. Not that any of you guys care though. You guys care about how and why you should start lifting. Alright, so I used to be very insecure about how I looked. I was very skinny. I was very I was just not confident at all. And lifting is one of the main things that I started with and that helped me a lot and got me on like the right track of improving myself in multiple areas, not just my looks. But I think it's a very important first step. And if you're missing this, you're gonna have a lot of like confidence issues with how you look, and you're not gonna be performing at your best in other situations. Also, we want to be big, right? I mean, we want to have that dream physique. That's like a pretty normal desire. So, lifting is the key to that. As long as you, and this is a good mindset to hold before we get into the steps and things, is that you have to understand that whatever your genetics are, whatever issues you might face, whatever plateaus you might face, injuries or anything like that, as long as you don't quit and don't give up and put enough effort in over a long enough time horizon, it could be 5 years, then you will attain your dream physique. So it's like a guarantee, which is great because you have complete control as long as you put the effort into it, which is awesome. So if you're debating, I'm just gonna like go through a couple like limiting beliefs to this video. So if you're like debating going to the gym because my parents aren't gonna buy me food, or I don't have enough money for the gym membership, or I can't go to the gym, so I only have dumbbells at my house or something like that, right? There's all these like limiting beliefs that your brain will try to like throw at you so you don't have to go through the effort of actually going to the gym, or people are gonna judge you at the gym, or any of this stuff. You can build muscle with whatever you have. So there's no point in using these as limiting beliefs to stop you from taking action. You should just take action and then figure it out along the way. If you actually have no idea what you're doing, just do push-ups and like crunches and shit and figure it out and go outside, find a tree branch and do pull-ups or something. Like as long as you're making progress, you will figure it out. And then for like if you can't go to a gym, just do that like I said. And then if you can like do something to make enough money and get a gym membership, great. If you can go to the gym and you're worried about people like caring about you being skinny, or like about you doing an exercise wrong, or you don't know how to do the exercise, or it's confusing or something like that, don't. Like it's literally no one cares at all. No one cares about you. Like think about when you're walking outside. No one cares. Like are you thinking about every single other person? Oh my god, this guy's walking with a slight limp. And this guy has a pink shirt on. Like you don't really care. You're in your own head. You're thinking about your own stuff, right? It's the same thing. Everyone's pretty nice at the gym, and no one, don't worry about that. Now, if you're watching this and you also have already started going to the gym and you understand that, then there's basic principles that you need to understand. And even if you're far into the lifting journey, these are the things you need to focus on because these are the things that have the outsized impact. It's like a very small subset of basic fundamentals that will get you 90% of the gains that you will get. Not worrying about like the drop set and superset and like all this bullshit. You don't have to think about that. The main things are number one, progressive overload. So most people understand this. I'm just gonna give like a brief overview, and we're gonna get into more like interesting things that actually matter more. Not that this doesn't matter, but you know, more like juicy stuff, I guess. So progressive overload means if you're going to the gym, you need to have a weight you're doing and then a certain rep range. So usually like 6 to 12 is a good one to stick to. And then you're doing, let's say you're doing curls, right? You're doing bicep curls, right? Like this. And you get to 8 reps, and that's failure. So then you can't do any more, it's completely failed, and you're done. That means the next session, you should increase the rep, increase the weight, or something like that. What I would do is go to the gym, then I did 8 reps for 3 sets. And then the next day, the next time I would go to the gym and train the same muscle, I would do 9 reps for 3 reps, or 9 reps for 3 sets with the same weight. And once I get to 12, I'd increase the weight, and you keep doing that for every muscle, and you'll gain size that way. The next thing is failure. So if you're a beginner, you have absolutely no idea what your failure is, how hard you can actually push. So it's much better and much more beneficial for you to just go to failure on every single exercise. there's, you could say maybe it's like more optimal to be, 1 to 2 reps before failure, from a recovery standpoint or something. But if you're a beginner, you don't really know what that is, so you're probably gonna underestimate your failure and then not make as many gains. So it's much safer to just go to actual failure. Meaning, if you're, except for things like maybe squats or something like that, because you don't want to like be stuck at the bottom with like fucking 2 plates on your back, like struggling or some shit. That's probably one of the exercises that you wouldn't want to go to failure. But like for curls or overhead tricep extensions or lat raises or something like that, you would want to go to the point where, with decent form, you can't do a single rep. So you're like getting to there, for example. Yeah, that's the next thing. Then, if you have everything right with your exercise, your lifting routine, and you don't have, or everything right with like your exercises and your progressive overload and your like effort and stuff, but you don't have a consistent plan, then you're fucked. So you need to have either full body, which I recommend for beginners. I still do that too. It's I think it's the best. There's also upper, lower, and you know, like whatever the bro splits, push pull legs too. Whatever you like to do, I would say it doesn't really matter that much when you're first starting, but full body's probably my preference or my recommendation. And yeah, I might make like a workout thing if you guys ask for it in the comments, but yeah, we'll see. Like for what exercise you need to do, diet, stuff like that. And like so I can give you guys plans, but yeah, we'll see. The next thing is your diet. So if you're not eating food, if you're not eating in a calorie surplus, then you're not going to make any gains. You're just going to be spinning your wheels, doing the same things, having trouble increasing the weight because you're not actually growing. You need the muscle to be able to increase the weight and do progressive overload, right? It's pretty like self-explanatory. So for diet, you need to be, number one, if you're bulking, you need to be in a calorie surplus. And if you're a beginner, I would recommend being in a calorie surplus. Unless you're like above 25% body fat, then it might be better to cut. But for the vast majority of people, it's better to maintain or bulk. So let's say you're bulking, right? What you want to do to start is eat whatever like your current eating habits are. You get MyFitnessPal, which is like a app tracker thing. You put in all your food, and then you see, okay, over this day I ate 2,500 calories. This day I ate 2,300. This day I ate 2,700. And you see what like your average calorie intake is, and then every week you just increase by 100 calories or 200 calories when you're starting out, and just every week just increase it and see if you're gaining weight. And then once you get to, let's say it's 3,000 calories for you after 5 weeks, then you're putting on around like a pound to 2 pounds, depending on how long you've been lifting, of body weight per week. That's the right amount of calories for you. So you can gauge it like that. It's pretty like useful. And it can seem like a lot to start tracking, like tracking all your calories, putting every single thing in. But once you just get some meals that you have in the MyFitnessPal, you add meals to it. Every day you can just click, eggs and toast. And then for lunch you ate a sandwich. And then for dinner it was like pasta and meatballs. You can just click it and it's easy. You don't have to type everything in or weigh every single gram of food or something like that. So it makes it easier once you just get some momentum and get going in that aspect. Let me see. Also, if you're eating junk food, there's like so many things I could talk about. I'll have to make separate videos about this, but this should get you on the right track. So if you're eating junk food, that's bad. If you're eating things that are not like healthy for you, things that are not going to be nutritious, you're not getting the vitamins and minerals you need, you're going to also have trouble with like testosterone and hormones and muscle building and all that stuff. So ideally, you would want to eat as clean of food to reach your calorie goals as possible. I understand you're not going to be able to eat like kale and brown rice and to get like 3,500 calories, right? Like realistically, that's not really going to happen. So you have to do some things that is like, maybe it's not necessarily better for you to eat white rice versus brown rice, but you kind of have to eat enough foods to gain weight. So is what it is, right? But it's still just like, do your best and don't use that too much of an excuse. Like, don't be dirty bulking. I gained weight without eating McDonald's or any junk food or any candy or sugar or anything like that. So you can do it too. One extra little bonus tip before I know this video is getting a little long, but extra little bonus tip is liquid calories. So olive oil, melted butter, and smoothies are super, super helpful because if you can have liquid calories, my bad, then it's easier to digest it and it's easier to eat it. And it's also like if you pour 2 tablespoons of olive oil, that's 250 calories extra, and you can't even like barely taste it or notice it. I mean, it's like this much, right? So it's useful. Yeah. If you have any questions, coaching is down below, and if you need any like other tips, drop a comment for like a video idea if there's like a specific thing. But yeah, yeah, coaching is down below. I can also just teach you every single thing. You can skip all my plateaus, make 2 times the gains in like half the time, and it's definitely useful to invest in knowledge, and it'll save you money and time in the future. So definitely worth it. Anything else you need help with? Yeah. Have a good one. Peace.